Hello, everyone, and welcome to another bonus episode of Bookish Babbles. That is, on Tuesday, the regular episode time. I did genuinely mean to talk about the last chapters of Mockingjay this week, but I don't know. I ran out of time. I got busy this week as I usually do, and I just wanted to give myself a little extra time because I believe that the last chapters of the Hunger Games series, they deserve the careful care and attention. And, I wanted to put at the very least, above average prep work into that episode. So this week, we're doing something else. And this kind of episode actually would have been great to do last week because last week was Valentine's Day. But, in true Allison fashion, I'm doing it not when it's timely. I'm doing this a week late. So today I am doing the OTP Book Tag because, February is when Valentine's Day happens. It's a good month to do a tag like this. And I like mentioning my favorite fictional couples. So this seemed like the perfect thing to do this week. So this tag was originally created on YouTube by Kristen. The video has since been privated, so I can't access it, but I will just link another YouTube creator's video just so you guys have an idea. Okay, so I promise I'm almost done rereading Chain of Iron, and I am more than halfway through A Ruinous Fate. I will eventually read Chain of Thorns, I promise. It's just I'm still putting off the pain, guys. And have you guys seen the trailer for season 2 of Shadow and Bone? Oh my god, it looks fucking incredible. I will be a mess on March 16th. I will be inconsolable probably, and I'm so sorry to everyone in my life. Oh my god, it looks amazing. Allison in editing, link the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer, show notes, go watch it. Allison, link it in show notes. That sentence made sense. Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna get into the tag because before I just start rambling about Shadow and Bone again. Okay, you can do this, Allison. Okay, first question is pick, wait, I answered the question wrong. So the question is pick an unpopular OTP that you ship. I did not want to put this couple down for that. What's an unpopular ship? Actually, I'll do the opposite of this one. So I read the question wrong, guys, when I wrote down the answer, because the question is pick an unpopular OTP that you ship. This ship is definitely not unpopular. I think I read it as pick a popular ship OTP that you don't ship. I don't know how I did that, but I did. But I wrote down Emma and Hook because I love this TV show Once Upon a Time, clearly, and I've never been a Captain Swan girly. Which, if you are, I get it. I get the appeal. It's just not for me. So on the flip side of that, I was a Swanfire shipper. Still kind of am. More like I want Emma to be off on her own doing her own thing. But, if I had to pick one of the dudes in this, love triangle that was forced on us because it was, 2012, 2013 when we got it. If I had to pick one of the dudes, it was always Neil. I've always had a soft spot for Neil / Balefire. So yeah, an unpopular OTP I ship is Swanfire. Anyway, this episode's already off to a great start. Let's see how many other questions I accidentally read wrong. Whoopsie-daisies. Okay, number 2, pick an OTP you didn't ship at first, but you do now. So I have 2 answers for this one. One is the slightly more tame answer. The other one will get people angry at me, including my past self. And I'll explain that one in a minute, but I'll start with the less unhinged one. So Amy and Laurie from Little Women, I did not ship them at first because I was still bitter against Amy for burning Joe's book because, as a writer, that's an unforgivable sin, in my opinion. But again, the Greta Gerwig movie just convinced me that Amy and Laurie are suited for each other, and they have a really sweet bond. And it's great, especially because, if you watch the Greta Gerwig movie, Florence Pugh and Timothée Chalamet are fantastic in those roles. And just so is the rest of the cast. I just love the movie. Now I'm making myself want to rewatch the movie, guys. Okay, maybe that's what I'll do tonight after I record. But anyway, so on to the unhinged answer. And I was surprised about this, guys. Like, 12-year-old me would be horrified that I am saying this. But I'm saying Bella and Jacob from Twilight. Because I recently reread the entire Twilight series for some unhinged reason via audiobook. I flew through those audiobooks like an insane person. And rereading New Moon, I was getting really into Bella and Jacob, and I did not expect that. And this one person on TikTok who always shows up on my For You page, I love her content because she makes Twilight content. I need to find her. If I find her, I'll link her in the show notes because she has a lot of great points. She kind of helped sway me onto Team Jacob, which is something I thought I'd never say. Because Jacob really is built to be more suited for Bella. There's less angst. And it's more the kind of relationship you'd want in real life. Because, Bella's whole thing in Twilight is, in the book, both the book and the movie, one of the first things we learn about her when she's moving to Forks is that she's sad to leave Arizona because she misses the sun. She doesn't like any cold, wet thing, except for Edward, apparently. But in the book, especially in New Moon, Bella is constantly comparing Jacob to the sun. So just the text is linking them together. And then, the way I know Stephanie probably didn't intended them to be that good together, but the way the story evolved, in the hands of another writer, Bella and Jacob would have been endgame, and we never would have gotten baby Rasputin in that mix. So, and Edward would have evolved into the villain of the story, I think. Is there any good fan fiction like that out there? If there's any good fan fiction of Bella and Jacob, please let me know. Message me, email me, I don't care. Just let me know if there's good Bella Jacob fan fiction. And I'm gonna move on before someone cancels me. So anyway. Next question is pick your most hated no TP. So I guess I could have said Emma Hook for this one. But the other answer I put down, speaking of Shadow and Bone that I mentioned earlier, Alina and the Darkling. I guess Alina and Mal could also be the unpopular ship that I like. Especially show Alina and Mal. They are superior to book Alina and Mal. But anyway, either way, listen, I get it. Ben Barnes he's Ben Barnes. He would probably, my dumb brain would probably fall for his tricks too, just like many other of the young women in characters in the show do. So I get it. But, the Darkling's terrible, guys. He's straight up abusive and manipulative toward Alina. And it just baffles me because the intention behind the Darkling, Leigh Bardugo, when she wrote the books, was to essentially warn young women and readers to help us spot the red flags in these charming, dark, and mysterious men, archetype that at the time when this book came out was the type we all loved of men we all love to read about in books. Edward Cullen. So Leigh Bardugo was warning us against men like that, and so many of us were still out here shipping Alina and the Darkling, and I get it. I get the appeal, and had Alina been a different person with different goals, and maybe she did turn evil, they'd be a great evil couple, I think. But no, that's not what we got. That's not who Alina is, and therefore she and the Darkling should not be together under any circumstances. And Mal is again much better in the show, so yeah. We'll never ship Alina and the Darkling. I'm so sorry, Gabby. because I know she's listening to that. Okay, next question. An OTP that took way too long to get together. James and Cordelia. I mean, I haven't finished the Last Hours trilogy yet, but from my point of view, James and Cordelia are taking way too long to get together, gosh dang it. And Anne and Gilbert, because again, I'm on book 3 of the series, and they're not together yet. I love. But in both instances, it's like, I think I have a type, guys, I think I have a type when it comes to shipping couples, because dark-haired dude, redhead girl. Oh my god, because I love Harry and Ginny too. Shit, guys, I have a type. It's been, and when I read The Mortal Instruments for the first time, I was shipping Simon and Clary. The one exception was Percy and Rachel, because obviously Annabeth was there, but oh my god, guys, I have a type. Okay, let's move on from that. Relevation. Okay, pick your favorite non-canon OTP. Okay, so all these are lesbian couples. Okay, so I have Ruby and Belle from Once Upon a Time. Okay, I still kind of ship Rumple and Belle because I just have for years. I'm too committed to the ship now, but thank you, the folks over at the Entering Storybrooke podcast, especially you, Fran. You've convinced me to ship Ruby and Belle, that Ruby is the beast that this beauty should have fallen in love for. Because again, Ruby is a werewolf. She's a quote-unquote beast, and Belle is still, Belle. So, and the actresses there were sparks. I rewatched some clips. There were sparks, guys. You can't tell me otherwise. Gosh, god damn it. And we were robbed. The writers are cowards. If the show, let's reboot the show. Let's redo it. I should play Belle, and Belle and Ruby should get together. That's decided. And anyway, another non-canon OTP that I love is Piper and Annabeth. If anyone has good Pippa Beth fan fiction, please let me know. Like if Percy wasn't a thing, and if he and Annabeth weren't so good together, I would be hardcore shipping this, but I love them as a non-canon couple. And last, and again, same case, I love them as a non-canon couple so much. I ship it almost as much as I ship the canon couple about Luna and Ginny from the Harry Potter series. I think they'd make an amazing power couple, and in another universe, they are a couple, and you can't tell me otherwise. Hey guys, this is Allison in editing. I'm just taking this moment to say, because I know I'm mentioning multiple Harry Potter couples in this episode, I just wanted to remind everyone that the author of the series is still a TERF, is still actively causing harm to the trans community, influencing legislation that's harming the trans community in the United Kingdom. So just a reminder to maybe do your best. I know that a new game come out and it's tempting to want to play, but I advise not. I advise trying to do your best to make sure that as little of your money goes toward her as possible, because that'll only encourage her. But anyway, that's just my PSA. Back to the episode. And anyway, moving on. I can't transition, guys. This is going great. It's a good thing I decided not to do an official episode this week. Okay, next question is pick your favorite bro TP, and seriously, guys, I love friendships, real ones, fictionals. They're all amazing. First, I do want to mention a TV show bro TP that pops into my head immediately and I love so much, and that's Leslie and Ron from Parks and Rec. I love the two of them so freaking much. I think I was more invested in their friendship than any of Leslie's romantic partners, including Ben. I love you, Ben White, so much. You and Leslie are an amazing fictional couple, but like I was seriously more invested in Leslie and Ron's friendship, especially what was it, the last season when we found out that the two of them are no longer friends. Like that to me was more devastating than when Leslie and Ben broke up to like save her political career or whatever it was. But oh my god, yeah. And like Leslie and Ron coming back together as friends, like that was very healing. And I hate that the writers had to put me through the angst of them not being friends for multiple episodes. I can't watch that arc again because it's too painful. Okay, and I do have two more bro TPs that I love. Lori and Joe keeping on the Little Women train, especially, again, the Greta Gerwig movie, because Saoirse Ronan and Timothée Chalamet are so good together. Like, I love them as Lori and Joe, and I love how the movie especially portrays them as, like, platonic soulmates, but I still low-key want, like, Timothée Chalamet and Saoirse Ronan to star, I don't know, in, like, a rom-com, a romance type movie where they actually have a happy ending and end up together, because those two have crazy chemistry. It's fantastic. And also, how can I not mention Will and Jem from The Infernal Devices, the most legendary parabatai ever? Like, okay, guys, fair warning, in like the distant future, when I'm talking about all the Shadowhunter series, I will be a hot mess during The Infernal Devices. It's just the reality of it. Actually, wait, I lied. I have two more answers because I love fictional friendships, guys. Staying on the Shadowhunter train, Lucy and Cordelia, and again, I haven't read The Last Hours. Don't spoil me, guys. But I am upset that Lucy and Cordelia still aren't parabatai yet. Like, come on, because I'm trying to think, have there been any like two women being parabatai in the Shadowhunter universe yet? It's crazy. Like, they say in Chain of Gold, like, I think Will says, like, you know, more women should be allowed to be parabatai because it's usually two men. And then I know Clary and Simon become parabatai eventually, and then Emma and Julian, we know how that one ended. But like, I really want Lucy and Cordelia to be parabatai. God damn it. And then last bro TP platonic soulmates are Alan and Francis from Radio Silence, which everyone needs to read Radio Silence. If you love Heartstopper, you should read Radio Silence. Okay. Next question. In OTP, you adored in the books, but didn't like so much in the TV/movie adaptation. I had a hard time with this one. Okay, actually, maybe I do have a second answer, but the first answer I sort of gave was Jace and Clary. Again, just keeping on the Shadowhunter train, I guess. They were never my favorite couple. They still aren't. Like, they've grown on me more over time. I didn't really like them at first, but they've grown on me, and I have nostalgia attached to them because they were the first, leads in the first Shadowhunters series, and I only watched season 1 of the TV show Shadowhunters. Maybe it got better, guys. Again, I don't know. I haven't seen it. Let me know if, the series gets better after season 1. But I was not digging them. I could not buy their relationship or feelings for each other. I thought Clary in the first season, at least, because, again, I don't know what about the later seasons, but I thought Clary and Alec had more chemistry. Which feels so wrong because, again, Magnus and Alec were the best part of that series from what I've seen. And I think the actor who played Alec even originally auditioned for Jace, so yeah, interesting. But I'm still happy he was Alec because, again, he and Magnus were so good together. But anyway, I don't know. That's hard, but not. And I guess the other answer could be Harry and Ginny, because I love them in the books. They are my favorite couple in the books, but the movies did Ginny so dirty that you wonder, and they butchered their relationship, and it's to the point where you wonder, why are they together? No wonder people, especially people who've only seen the movies, shipped Harry with Hermione or Luna, which I actually really love the idea of movie Harry and movie Luna being together. Actually, maybe, I don't know, maybe Harry, Ginny, and Luna should just do Polly. But Yeah, like, it was so frustrating that Ginny had no personality, because I think Bonnie could do it. Like, she's like, how I picture Ginny, like, from reading the books, like, that's Ginny straight out of my brain. So it's like, why could they not let Bonnie be Ginny? Okay, I gotta move on before I rant too long, because I got stuff to do. Okay. A popular OTP that no matter how hard you try, you could not get into. Oh, this is probably where I should have put Emma and Hook. Okay, but the other answers that I actually wrote down were, so these are non-canon ships, but really popular ships. But Draco Malfoy with either Harry or Hermione, don't like it. I've never shipped it. I mean, I get the appeal, especially like in Half-Blood Prince, where I get where the fan fiction came from with Half-Blood Prince, where Harry was kind of low-key obsessed with what Draco was doing, and Draco was going, Potter! Like, he was obsessed. And then, and I get, like, the whole enemies to lovers with Draco and Hermione. Like, I understand, and if like, you ship those and you write or read that fan fiction, and it brings you joy, I am so happy for you. Like, I'm really happy it brings you guys joy. It's just not for me. Like, I love who Harry and Hermione end up with too much. Although, Draco did deserve a little more character development at the end of the series. Just saying. Not him ending up romantically with any of the Golden Trio, but still, he deserved better. Okay, moving on. An LGBT couple that you love. Next question. I'm gonna say, I got two answers. Again, my brain's on Shadowhunter mode, guys. I'm just gonna say all Shadowhunter answers. But Magnus and Alec, Anna and Ariadne, and what are their names? Why am I blanking? Oh, Thomas and Alistair from The Last Hours. This is like OTP tag. OTP. I should just this episode should probably be called the OTP Book Tag, featuring like every Shadowhunters character ever. Okay, and the last one is gonna have the most answers. It is pick your all-time favorite OTPs. So Harry and Ginny, like I said, they're my favorite couple in the Harry Potter books. Percy and Annabeth, because anyone who's read the books, they know. Robin and Starfire from the original Teen Titans cartoon on Cartoon Network, not Teen Titans Go. Fuck that shit. Yeah, like, cause like Robin and Starfire are so good as a couple on that show. Speaking of other childhood ships, one of my first OTPs on Nina and Fabian from the House of Anubis series on Nickelodeon. Anyone else remember that series? Good times. Nick and Charlie, duh. Tessa and Jem from the Infernal Devices, obviously. James and Cordelia, again. Hal and Sophie from Hell's Moving Castle, and in that same lens, Elizabeth and Nathaniel from Sorcery of Thorns, because that book gives off major Howl's Moving Castle vibes. Like, I'm convinced it's an official, like, Howl's Moving Castle retelling. And also honorable mention to Carter and Zia, and Magnus and Alex from the Magnus Chase series, although Carter and Zia are from the Kane Chronicles. Oh, and you know what? I'm also going to give a shout out to Grace and Christopher, because I have a feeling they're going to have a good plot line in Chain of Thorns, because I loved the interaction that they got in Chain of Iron so much. I want to see how this plays out, so I'll give them a special shout out. But yeah, that is the end of the tag. Those are all my fictional couples that I love. But yeah, I promise next week is when we're gonna do the whole, last 3 chapters of Mockingjay, and it's gonna be a lot. But yeah, just, like, subscribe, follow on whatever platform you're listening on. Socials in the show notes, and thank you. And again, thank you all for listening and dealing with my chaos, especially this week. But I hope you all have a great day / night, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!